Okay, so I'm going to walk you through how to create a question on the Diagnostic Questions site. Here we are on the DQ site, which we're using for Project Quantum. Also here I've got a little Scratch program that I'm going to use as a stem text for my question, and I've got a blank presentation slide running in Google Slides. You can use PowerPoint for this as well. Okay, so we're going to start with this as an image about which I'm going to ask some questions. So Apple Shift 4 allows me to create a screenshot of just part of the screen there. And then we're going to go over to the presentation and we're going to resize this text box here, so I've got room for my image, and then insert an image and upload from my computer. And here's one I prepared earlier, which that just brings that into the presentation slide. I can ask a question about this now. So what will this Scratch program say when it is run? We might just resize that a little. We might move that down a little to fit in better with the stem text. There. And then we've got 4 possible distractors, or 4 possible alternatives, one of which has to be the correct answer. And the trick to these is to think about the misconceptions which the learner might have about a program like this. So what we're looking at here is perhaps being distracted by this greater than 40 end condition to the repeating loop. So let's work around that. A could be 40, they may just spot the 40 there and think that that's all it does. Could be 41 if they're noticing the greater than 40. Maybe they're spotting the increasing by 5 each point, and so the first number, multiple of 5 above 40 is 45. And of course the correct answer here is 44, because we start on 4 and keep adding multiples of 5, and then we'll stop when we get to 44. Now it would be best to have these in numerical order, so I'm going to swap those two over, 44 and 45. We can play around a little here with the formatting of this, so let's increase the font size there, and that looks nice and elegant, I think. Oh, we could probably make this a little bigger as well, because that will be hard to see when we import it into DQ. So I've got my question here. I'm going to export that now as a ping file, just that particular image, and that saves that file. Okay, then over to the Diagnostic Questions site, and there we have it. Okay. And I'm going to go into questions here and create a new question. Now I never use the Canvas editor here apart from to upload an image. So I find that image, which should be in my downloads folder on this machine. There we go. And then we add that to the canvas. And there that is. There's the question itself. Okay, as a picture. Our correct answer is, of course, answer C. We then need to categorize the question. This is a computing question. It's inside computer science. This is part of programming. It's part of repetition. And I would say that's a conditional repetition. It's also, of course, part of Scratch. So we've tagged that very nicely to help others find this question. We have the option now to give explanations for the wrong answer. So explanation for answer 40. No, think carefully about the values that number can take. I think that's going to suffice as an explanation for all of these, apart from, of course, answer C, which is correct. You might give more detailed explanations, and then we can create the question there. And that question is now online. So if I go into my questions, I should see that as top of the stack there. There's a moderation process that somebody will come and check these questions before they go live onto the system, which of course is very sensible if we're providing open access to this to anybody. But I can use this in a question which I assign to my pupils right there and then. Okay.